Yes, you guys, welcome back. I'm EFC, this is Blue Lions TV, and today we have some big stories that dropped late last night that we have to go through, break down, and discuss this morning, you guys. For the stories today, I'll be discussing the big updates surrounding both Kurt Zouma and Jules Koundé. For Koundé, I feel like this new news puts this entire story into complete different perspective and context, and of course I need to discuss that perspective change, you guys. The other two stories we'll be discussing are Carabao Cup opponents, as well as our new third kit that just dropped earlier today. So there's a ton of things to break down and discuss, you guys. I hope that you're ready for the news, you're sitting back, you're comfortable, you got your tea or your coffee, because we're going to be going through these stories pretty quick. Before I get into anything though, this morning our new ACG inspired night kit has just dropped, you guys, and I know that quite a few people are very excited by this kit design, the prints and how it's looking. You know, I'm liking this camo inspired feel. You know, the colorway is quite unique, you know, the turquoise, the dark blue and the orange as well, and yeah, of course it continues this pattern we're seeing from Nike of having like striking patterns and just unique visual designs. So of course today, you guys, the kit's launch, meaning that you can get the kit for your kids, for your partner, your wife, for yourself. Everything's here, you guys, as you can see on screen. And if you want to buy the new third kit for today, of course, I'm your guy, I'm the plug. In the description below, you'll find affiliate links. Click on them and you get access to my 10% off discount code NEEDY10 to get 10% off your final order. I see everyone that uses the links every month. Never forget to use them. I'm here to help give you guys some discounts as well too. I appreciate everyone that clicks on the links, and of course you know where to find them. I'm going to ask you guys in the comments below, how do you feel about this kit? How do you like it? Share your thoughts and opinions. And without wasting any more time, we start with a surprising story I wasn't expecting to discuss actually in this video right now. We'll quickly talk about Loftus-Cheek, because at this point in time, AS Roma, led by former manager Jose Mourinho, are currently in talks and negotiations to sign Loftus-Cheek on loan until the end of the season, with an option to buy set at 13.5 million. Wow, that's a very low fee, very low fee, but you know, I shared my thoughts and opinions in yesterday's video behind Ruben. I'm not really feeling too different right now. You know, personally, as I said, you know, I don't give up on people. But I guess that's my personal philosophy. I'm always one of those guys that is always quite hopeful with my friends, you know, people close to me, family, and just people in general, always hoping for better things. And, you know, man, if you give people conditions of, you know, confidence, support, faith, that's when you really see what someone's 100% about. But at the same time, you know, with how we're playing now in the new tactical system, it does mean that roles aren't the same. And I do think now is the time for Ruben to focus more on his career, you know, playing for a team where he can play in his best position, play his best football. You know, if he was able to do that a lot earlier in his career, maybe that forces the club to think like, okay, maybe 4-3-3 has to be the formation we use because we have too much talent here that performs well in the system. Didn't work out like that, but this is still a great move. Linking up with Tammy could be a big move for him as well, playing with players like Zaniolo, working under Mourinho again too. There's a lot of potential here, and you know, proof that he's still a player that is still highly regarded, and this move could really elevate him and put him back on the map. So let's see what happens with this one, but it's looking like potentially Ruben could be going on loan to AS Roma. Now we move on to the two big stories that dominated late last night, the Kurt Zouma drama and of course the updates surrounding Koundé. Now I feel like I've got to start with Zouma first because it links in very nicely to the Koundé story. But wow, there was some drama late last night, you guys. At one point, we all believed that this Zouma deal was called off. Wow, in typical Chelsea incel fashion on Twitter, you know, people sending abuse and threats towards a player that's been a very great servant for the club for many years now. But, you know, it's that type of emotional connection that I'm always talking about, that, you know, do like a lot of people actually feel that for their teams, because I'm not really feeling that, I'm not gonna lie you guys. But regardless, this story was broken by French reporter Menards, and he stated that there were some last minute disagreements that were potentially jeopardizing this move. Now, with more information, we did find out that these disagreements came to the fact that there's actually multiple agents and advisors working on this deal, and maybe they weren't all like kept up to date on the same things. I don't know, maybe they work on different parts for the player. I'm not too sure, but you know, of course, some confusion between West Ham and of course the advisors from both parties to get this deal done and over the lines. Of course, after Zouma agreed a 5-year deal with West Ham, after West Ham agreed a 25 million valuation, of course, to sign him from us too, Was this deal really going to be over just like that? Over a small complication? Definitely not. And literally an hour after that news first broke, we got news here in England where I got to say, man, English reports seem to be a lot more accurate and a lot faster when it comes to breaking what's actually happening. Of course, we found out that things are looking positive again, and the medical that Zouma was set to take today, we don't know if he will still be having it today, but we do know that it has not been cancelled. The fact that it hasn't been cancelled tells you that there's still a lot more life in this deal, and it seems like, in my opinion, Zouma will be signing for West Ham very, very soon. Sometimes with updated stories like this, things change every single hour. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting the most accurate picture at all times. So you have to let these things play out, see how it plays out over the course of a few hours, come to that final conclusion. So at this point in time, there's still a lot of hope that this deal is going to be completed. But we have to wait for the final hurdles to be fully eradicated. Those hurdles are that there are some, problems and complications involving personal terms and the structure behind this deal. So it's very vague. I don't know exactly what that means in particular, but I'd imagine that with deals like this, man, very complicated. There's a lot of details you have to go through as well. But, the hope is, segueing into the next story now, that Zouma should be signing. And that's due to the fact that we have agreed to sign Koundé for 50 million euros. Yes, you guys heard that right. This month, this guy's release clause went up by another 10 million to 90 million euros. We're about to be signing him for 50 million euros, including bonuses and clauses in the deal as well. Now, we know with bonuses and clauses that they could literally be anything. It could be after he plays 10 caps for France, they'll get an extra 5 million after. I don't know, if we win the league, there'll be bonuses that Sevilla will receive. And, over time, if there's lots of clauses inserted in deals like this, they do add up, they do accumulate. And for us, this deal makes a lot of sense because Koundé is still young. It allows us to pay off his big transfer fee over the course of maybe a few more seasons now to really stretch things out even more. And of course, with Sevilla wanting to push on now to sign reinforcements to prepare for their season. After Koundé agreed terms and a contract with us from literally, the start of this month, of course, this deal had to go through. So you guys, 50 million euros is basically around 42.7 million pounds. Now, reports were suggesting that Sevilla actually were happy to take 60 million euros straight. In my head, I'm just thinking about right now is that 50 million euros up front plus, I don't know, another 20 million in bonuses and clauses. That would not surprise me. When it comes to that part though, the information doesn't really get disclosed at this point in time. Let's hope one day we really find out. But after this news broke and after we're seeing the final fee that we are signing Koundé for, it's made me re-see this entire story and understand the club's perspective a lot more. You guys know, man, when I get more information, I only care about being accurate, I only care about truth and stuff like that. I now understand why the club pushed for signing Koundé right now. The fact that there's no competition for him gives us more power when it comes to asserting the fee we want to sign him for. I get it. Let's say we go to next season. Of course, we can easily compete against anyone in football right now. I actually do feel that. But the issue with doing that is that competition normally means prices get raised. I mean, we saw that earlier this window with Hakimi. He could have left Inter Milan for less money if both us and Paris Saint-Germain weren't pushing things up and pushing things up. So I completely understand now why the club decided that this was great business to get done right now, because we will never sign him for a fee this low. And considering that over the next few years, he could play a very valuable part. Listen, it's going to mean that it's not going to be perfect for everyone. But to get him for an absolute bargain like this, that's an opportunity we can't pass down. And it goes back to something I say myself, but I need to apply a lot more, you guys. Maybe we all should. But with Queen Granovskaya, she has taught us now for these past few seasons that timing is queen, not king. Timing is queen in the transfer window. We've signed Havertz for below the market valuation. Unreal business. We've signed Lukaku for less than what Inter Milan wanted. We've done the same thing with Koundé. These three players, of course, long term have major impacts upgrading the team and giving us that quality. We've signed them from below their market valuation. This is incredible business. It is. Of course, I'm going to admit that, what I mean? Of course, my stance with Koundé always came down to the fact that, with Xhaka performing so well, does he not maybe get more time now? So, of course, show what he can do. I still think he'll get some minutes, he will still be used. Let's see how his season does progress, but at the same time, when business like this is available, you can't just say no to that. I'm not stupid. So, credit to Chelsea as well. And from now on, every single time we have a window, a link with players, this will be the energy I'm applying to it, because I can't make the same mistake anymore now. Now, of course, I'm going to release more videos on Koundé in the future to share more of my thoughts and opinions. But, I look at Koundé, and for me, he kind of is like a French Reece James style player. And when I say that, I think both him and James, they're the type of guys where if you had to play these guys in midfield, they're running things straight away. You know what I mean? Players that good that they can play in midfield. I'm just thinking about those link-up possibilities between both. I think it could be absolutely mad, just actually deep in it right now. The underlaps, the overlaps, the interchange, they both provide a goal threat too in the final third. I think Koundé, his 1v1 dribbling ability is very high. Very, very high, very, very unique. Playing as that wide centre-back alongside Reece James, where they're combining as well. That's going to do pretty special things. And after seeing the improvements we're seeing with our wing-backs getting more involved in the game in the final thirds, our play is a lot quicker, sharper and faster. Adding someone like a Koundé who, potentially is he can still improve. I think his progressive passes can be a bit better. He can maybe be a bit more ambitious and creative. But listen, man, 22 years old, no one's perfect and complete at this age. And already, his game's at a superly high level already. So, like I'm saying, man, my hands are up. Now that I understand the final price we've signed him for, it's completely just rechanged how I've seen this whole story now. And I'm going to have to keep this energy going forwards in the future because, I need to stop just doubting things. And, maybe it's my insecurity of seeing the mistakes we've made so many times in the past. Sometimes maybe it's time now for me to feel like, okay, the club are actually making improvements. So we're now in things with the final story today. It's a very brief one, you guys, and we found out that our first opponents in this year's Carabao Cup will be against Aston Villa. Now, it's a Premier League team. They've invested a lot of money. You're hoping to get something a little bit easier, considering too that when we play this game in September, it's going to be sandwiched in between our game versus Spurs and Man City. So, it's going to be a very difficult, busy month. Lots of rotation, but, we've got the squad that can compete on all fronts now, you guys. It's going to be interesting for me every season. I want us to win every single trophy. Carabao Cup has been a long time. I don't disrespect trophies, man, because at the end of the day, you add those trophies up, and that's where the history comes into place. This season, I'm being ambitious, but I'm hoping for at least 3 trophies minimum. We've got the first one in the Super Cup. I think we'll get the Club World Cup. It has to be another one. Carabao Cup, League. Listen, I feel like this season is going to be pretty special. It's exciting. Let's hope we play well against Aston Villa. And you guys don't know, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving, and get ready to cover our Champions League draw that's coming out later today. I have done a video too with Joe Tweedy and Carefree Youth that I'm going to be releasing later tonight. And of course, we're going to see what more news comes out. If I have a free day, I'm hoping I can release my Lukaku video I spent a lot of time working on. So yeah, you guys, the content is not stopping on Blue Lions TV. So keep your notification buttons on, and I'll catch you guys later. Cool.